Hello, everyone. Today we'll finish the chapter of Havdala with two halachot that are connected to each other. And then tomorrow we'll start chapter 9, which is already about the actual observance of Shabbat, the Shamor part, where the prohibitions of Melacha, etc. So if one did not make Havdalah over a cup on Saturday night, whether due to circumstances beyond his control, such as a soldier on a mission, forgetfulness, or even on purpose, which is very strange because most halachot aren't this forgiving for somebody who did on purpose. According to the majority of Rishonim, Rambam, Tosfot, and Rosh, he may make Havdalah until the end of Tuesday, since the first 3 days of the week are linked to the previous Shabbat. So Tuesday night before sunset is when we're talking about, because on Wednesday morning you're already allowed to say Shabbat Shalom, and it doesn't look strange because it's already the second half of the week. And the word in Yiddish for Wednesday, which I think is the most beautiful name of any day, is called Mitvach, the middle of the week. So it's just so special that even in our language, we have this idea of when Shabbat is. Others maintain that a missed Havdalah can be made up on Sunday only. This is the Geonim before the Rishonim. And there's one who maintains that even this only applies if one has not eaten anything since the end of Shabbat. The echo is by me, right? There are some who defer to this opinion and make Havdalah on a kos only until Sunday and only on condition that nothing was eaten on Saturday night, as we'll see in the next halacha. In practice, however, most poskim maintain that one who did not make Havdalah on Saturday night, even if he has eaten, should make Havdalah over wine with the blessing by the end of Tuesday. This is both the Shulchan Aruch and the Ramas, so there's no difference between Ashkenazim and Sephardim. This applies to the brachot of Hagefen and Mavdil, but not the blessings over the fragrances and fire, which are only made on Saturday night. It is only on Saturday night that we need to revive the soul with the smell of the fragrances. After that, it's already technically too late. And the blessing over fire was instituted specifically to remember the fire that Adam discovered on Saturday night. And so the Talmud in Psachim says that somebody who eats before Havdalah after they bench for Shalas Sudas, so if somebody ate, the punishment according to them is diphtheria. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And so it's brought in the Chazal in three different places. Again, we have a difference between the Wikipedia in English and Hebrew, because in Hebrew, whoever wrote this was talking about Chazal, the sages, and so it's mentioned a few times. The first one is mentioned is for the punishment for speaking Lashon Hara, as opposed to Tzarat, which is what we think from the Torah. Achilat Tevel, eating fruit or grain that was not tithed at all, and eating before Havdalah. And so obviously we're not talking always literally, because the rabbis knew that there's all kinds of diseases that don't happen because of connection to a deed or a misdeed of our behavior, but they did warn us that it can be a punishment for eating before Havdalah. So it's basically, my eating right now, eating something which we'll talk about what the parameters, my eating right now before I do Havdalah is basically saying I'm more important than the mitzvah of Havdalah, which is part of the Zachor, which as we talked about the last few days. So just as there is a mitzvah to extend the sanctity of Shabbat into Friday, so we go backwards and we light candles at least 18 minutes before sunset, there's a mitzvah to extend it into Saturday night. Therefore, one must be careful not to perform any melacha until several minutes after tzet, after the stars are out. After that, according to the Torah law, one may resume melacha, creative labor, even without making Havdalah. But the sages enacted that one may only do melacha after reciting Havdalah in the blessing of Atachonen and the Amida, or by reciting the phrase Baruch Hamavdi ben Kodesh L'chol. So this is the phrase without saying Baruch Atah Hashem, because we're not making the blessing yet of both Havdalah, but we're just saying that now I can do labor. So just for example, if somebody is not in shul, other members of the family, they can turn on or turn off lights after saying this phrase before the Havdalah is recited. Um, and before this recitation, one may not even perform halachot that are rabbinically prohibited, like muktzah and others. Because of the importance of reciting Havdalah over a cup of wine, sages prohibited eating and drinking after Shkia until one makes Havdalah over wine. However, one may drink water then, as it is not deemed significant. Other Achronim maintain one may not even drink water, and I don't think that we paskin in that way, because we're not allowed to fast on Shabbos. Thus, one may only do melacha after making Havdalah verbally, and one may only eat or drink after making Havdalah over wine. Most poskim maintain that when making a zimun at Seder Shlishit over a cup of wine, the leader of the zimun drinks from the wine after Birkat HaMazon. Although it is already after Tzet, drinking the wine is deemed a continuation of the meal, just as one who began Seder Shlishit may continue eating even after Shkia and Tzet, so too one may drink the wine from the zimun. So the question is basically there is a custom to do the blessing over the cup. It's mentioned in the Talmud several times, and so the practical is actually I saw both in Bet Knesset Kippah and where my parents prayed, and they would keep the cup from Birkat Hamazon and bring it into the shul, and that's what they would do Havdalah on. And in Agudat Israel South on Bathurst Street, when I go there, they actually they either don't drink it or they just leave it downstairs. They don't make a public Havdalah upstairs. So, but I think that it's appropriate to do what I mentioned. So, Rabbi Melamed concludes that once Shabbat has ended, one may make Havdalah over wine even before praying Ma'ariv. And when he later prays, he should recite Atachon Antanu. The one reciting Havdalah must remember not to drink a revi'it of wine, though. If he does so, he is considered under the influence and may not pray until the wine wears off. So those are the two halachot that are related to Havdalah. And like I said, we take it seriously because it's part of our observance of Zachor, and just maybe change the order a little bit. When we have Sheva Brachos on Shabbat, and there's a bride and groom, so the Rabbi Melamed says that one makes the blessing over the wine, and the person leading the zimun drinks from it, and so do the bride and groom. So it's a special halacha for Havdalah, which is before Havdalah, over the meal for Shor Brachos, and in the presence of a bride and groom, that is the proper practice. And we'll stop here.